Is finding your house a struggle for your friends, family, or delivery drivers? Let's take a look at an easy way to upgrade that curb appeal and make it easier for everyone to find your home. After that, we'll show you some helpful tips to make sure you can keep that air moving in your bathroom and avoid mold. When I was cleaning my mailbox last month, I realized that my house numbers looked really worse for wear. I mean, they've been out there for 30 plus years. It's time for an upgrade. So today, we're going to do just that. So I had a couple pieces of cedar, and this is what we're going to do. We're actually going to put some new house numbers on them. And I went with a little bit bigger. I went from a 3-inch all the way up to a 5-inch so they can be better seen, and that's great for people trying to find my house or just safety in general. So what we're going to do is we're going to get these things evened out on this board to start with. So they start out with these cool little templates, which we're going to drill, and this makes it pretty easy. So first thing I'm going to do is lay these out and get these equally spaced so they don't look crooked. So let's go through and lay these things out right here. And I want to get them just nicely balanced out. And I think if I come in here like this, so I'm just going to get them roughed in here first by eyeball, and then we can get the tape measure and make sure we get this just exactly spaced. A square like this is really good because now we can line the bottom of this up, and we're going to tape these down so we can drill through them, because these numbers have posts that come out of the back that we're going to push in. These aren't the style that have screws that go through it. So let's go through and get this lined up. This is where you take a little bit of time, and it makes it a little bit easier, and it looks a lot better. So since these are templates, we can just tape these on here. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to lock that one right down there. Just wrap it around this so that doesn't move around. And then we're going to do that all the way down here. All right, let's talk about these numbers. So they have these posts that come out and these spacers, and these little rings help float this off of there to give us that cool contemporary look. Now our next step here is they have these marked out right here where we're going to drill in and put these hollow wall anchors, because that's what's going to grab a hold of those. So our next step is to drill all the little holes as marked so we can remove the templates, put the numbers on. Let's do this. Okay, our next thing is we're going to push these little barrels in here, which are those wall anchors. And I'm just going to tap those in with a mallet. Just work down the line. This isn't a bad thing here if you drilled the right size, and it does tell you which drill bit to use, so make sure and follow those directions. The right tool for this is the rubber mallet, because if I miss, I'm not going to dent the wood, and then I'm starting over. So the next thing I'm going to do here is just start sliding these numbers in. This is where we're going to push these in. It might go in pretty easy, but don't forget I got to put these little barrel spacers on the back of that. I almost forgot right there. Let's get that right there. Get that lined up. You are off a little bit on the numbers. You got to be careful. If you have to tap on this too hard, you could split the wood. And that's a risk you run into with this. Hopefully our numbers were lined up correctly when we did this. And the other secret is just keeping this level as you tap them down. If you get it off center, it's going to start pushing off the side. You're going to bend something up or split the wood. All right, I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go put it on the mailbox. All right, there we go. That's knocked out. That's how you up your mailbox game. You know, your bath fan does a lot of heavy lifting in the bathroom. It is responsible for keeping the air in there clean and getting that moisture sent outside. But maintenance is a key part of this whole process, so it can do what it's supposed to do, and that's keep that air clean inside. So let me show you what you should do. When you dive into these things, the first thing I want you to do is turn the power off. That way, they don't turn on automatically, because some of them will do that. Once you get the cover off of it, I want you to get out your shop vac and dive into this thing. Get in here and get rid of all the different dust bunnies. It's going to have a pretty good collection of stuff in there. It doesn't matter if it's hair products, lint, hair, could be a number of different things. You want to get as much out of as you can with the vacuum. And then grab a nice thing of hot water and a cup with some soap in it, and we're going to get our old toothbrush and go scrubbing. See, this fan right here is one of the new style ones. This one here has a squirrel cage fan in it, so we have all these little tines that grab the air and move it. You got to clean those things up. So get in here with this and just start really scrubbing those. And we're trying to get this thing as close to new looking as we can so it can perform at its best. So we're just going to go around and get these things really nice and dialed in and get it clean. Little meticulous work goes a long ways. When it's wet, grab a towel, dry it out, you'll be good to go. Now, if you've got an older fan like this Brone Newtone right here, this is a classic. There's millions of these out in people's homes. They're really easy to remove. All you have to do is when you get into that cover, unplug it, take the 2 little screws out, and this will drop out, so you don't have to do that up on the ladder. Now, then you have a choice. Doesn't matter what you're going to do. You can either go buy a brand new one. They make upgrades for these that are quieter, move a little more air, or if you want to save some bucks, just get in and clean it up, and it's the same kind of thing. We're going to get in here and clean all this up, and don't forget the metal shaft back here. That gets a bunch of stuff spun up around it like hair or anything else. That can get pretty nasty. Once you get this cleaned up, you're going to be good to go. Now, this is a secret to a healthy home. It's not a bad thing. Next on